art darlings, Know the Art here with another speed coloring. Today I thought I would tell you some scary ocean stories for my lovely octopus girl monster piece. Let's begin and see if you end up with thalassophobia at the end. In 2003, scientists tagged a 9-foot great white in Australia as part of a research study. However, upon checking the tracking device, something eyebrow-raising occurred. The device detected that suddenly the shark plummeted 1,900 feet in a matter of seconds, and its body temperature skyrocketed nearly 20 degrees. The only viable explanation, according to researchers, some sort of massive sea creature must have swallowed it, dragging it deeper into our ocean and turning it into a meal. Yet, what could have eaten an animal this huge is still highly debated. Some theories include a, quote, monster shark, but today most scientists believe the culprit to have been a sperm whale. They still don't know for sure though, so the creature that really lurks below may harbor its secret identity forever. In 2012, a small group of scuba divers exploring the waters off the coast of Santa Monica reported seeing another diver with a pink tank toward the bottom of a blue hole. As they neared the diver, it vanished in front of their eyes. A similar story was told by divers on a diving trip in the Grenadines, who saw another diver in a white shirt waving at them as he swam by. The unsuspecting divers assumed it to be one of the members of their trip, but upon returning to the boat, no one there was wearing a similar white shirt or said they saw a diver of this description. In 1872, a brigantine named the Mary Celeste set course from New York City to Genoa, Italy, carrying 7 crew members, the captain, his wife, and their 2-year-old daughter. 1 month later, a British ship spotted the brig, which should have already reached its destination, drifting in the North Atlantic, hundreds of kilometers from land. When its crew members boarded the Mary Celeste, they found weeks' worth of food, shoes, and other personal belongings. An unfinished breakfast, likely the child's, was still sitting on the dining room table covered in mold. To the British seamen investigating the Mary Celeste, it was as if those on board had single-mindedly abandoned ship. Yet despite some seawater sloshing in its hold, the brig was deemed seaworthy. Below deck, the seamen found 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, 9 of them empty. Could their noxious fumes have set off sparks, scaring everyone on the Mary Celeste into the lifeboat? If so, where did they plan to go, given they were so far from land? No one can say for sure because the crew, the captain, and his family were never seen again. The tale of the Mary Celeste continues to obsess ghost ship fanatics, as it may be the closest true analog to the centuries-old legend of the Flying Dutchman, the mythical vessel that is cursed to sail the ocean forevermore. As such, it has been fodder for many storytellers. In 1884, Arthur Conan Doyle penned a fictitious account of what transpired on the Mary Celeste in a short story unrelated to Sherlock Holmes. And in 1935, the ship inspired one of the first entries to Hammer Films Productions' horror canon with The Mystery of the Mary Celeste, starring Bela Lugosi of Dracula fame. In that retelling, those on board get murdered one by one. Could that have been how the real crew and captain's family met their fate? Tales of ghost ships have been crossing the world's oceans as long as sailors have. Sometimes these eerie tales whisper of phantom ships, harbingers of doom, while others speak of real stories where vessels have inexplicably sailed the seas long after the crew have mysteriously died or disappeared. The Flying Dutchman has dozens of legends about its mythical ship and her crew of the dead who are doomed to sail the seas until Judgment Day. It's said that the ship's captain made a deal with the devil and became famous for his ability to make the passage between Holland and Java in possibly good time. Sure, they could have outrun capture. The crew eventually committed a terrible crime, although some versions claim they became infected with the plague, and the vessel was prohibited from entering port. Undaunted by denial of entry and confident in his ability to sail through at record speed, the captain attempted to round the Cape of Good Hope during a terrible storm. When the frightened crew begged the captain to seek safe harbor, the captain swore into the wind that he and his crew would round the Cape, if he had to beat about the waves until Judgment Day. The ship foundered in the storm, and all aboard perished. But true to the captain's word, Flying Dutchman continues to sail the seas with her damned crew still trying to complete her ill-fated passage. There have been hundreds who claim to have seen this ghost ship, which supposedly hovers above the waves with an eerie glowing mist about its masts in lieu of sails. The ship is believed to be a harbinger of imminent doom. One of the most famous sightings was reported by Prince George of Wales in the late 1800s, while making a passage off the coast of Australia between Sydney and Melbourne. He claimed at least 13 crew members spotted a glowing phantom ship at 4 a.m. The omen manifested itself later that day when the crewman who originally spotted Flying Dutchman fell from the fore-topmast and was smashed to atoms. There is some skepticism as to whether Orang Medan actually existed, but its legend is well known. Around 1948, Morse code distress signals were picked up by several ships off the coast of Indonesia. The vessel in distress was a Dutch freighter called the Orang Medan, a Malay name meaning man from Medan. Though the distress calls were intermittent and garbled at times, nearby ships were able to ascertain that the captain and all the officers were dead. The entire crew was in jeopardy, and after several attempts at additional transmissions, a final message simply said, "I die." Shortly after the last transmission, a vessel responding to the distress was able to locate Orang Medan. The ship appeared to be in sound condition, but there were no response to the attempts to make contact, so a boarding party was dispatched. Upon entering the ship, they found a terrifying scene. The entire crew was found dead. Their bodies were contorted with arms outstretched, eyes open, and expressions of horror on their faces. Even the ship's dog was found dead, baring its teeth at some phantom adversary. Yet upon closer observation, no injuries were observed on any of the bodies. After some deliberation, a decision was made to tow the vessel to port to investigate the tragedy. However, as the salvaging crew prepared to tow the vessel, smoke began to pour out the hull. The crew was forced to abandon the ship and cut the line to escape the thick smoke. Moments later, Orang Medan exploded. Macabre speculation continues to surround the fate of the freighter and her unfortunate crew. There are those who believe that the crew was terrorized by demons or extraterrestrials. Other stories claim the ship was carrying gruesome chemical weapons that accidentally killed the unprotected civilian crew charged with transporting them. And of course, there are conspiracy theorists who say it was a military crew disguised aboard a civilian ship, carrying a mysterious weapon that may have changed the course of history had Orang Medan not met an untimely end. Though the notorious Bermuda Triangle tops the list of most mysterious places on this planet, a number of other locations also remain mysterious as much as the former. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle, is one of such sailors' nightmares in the waters around the world. Located near the Japanese coast in the Pacific Ocean, the Devil's Sea is one of the 12 vile vortices located around the Earth. Vile vortices are those areas where the pull of the planet's electromagnetic waves is stronger than anywhere else. The Dragon's Triangle extends as a triangle between Japan and the islands of Bonin, including a major portion of the Philippine Sea. Geographically, the triangle is located around the Miyake, which is a Japanese island that lies around 100 kilometers south of Tokyo. However, the exact location of the Devil's Sea is disputed since several reports claim different distances to the area. Some reports state that it is 110 kilometers far from Japan's East Coast region, while others claims that it is located near Iwo Jima, a Japanese volcano island which is almost 1,200 kilometers from the Japanese coast. Since the Devil's Sea is not officially included in the map, the actual size and the perimeter of the notorious waters remain unknown. The area has also been called the Pacific Bermuda Triangle, denoting its position that is precisely opposite to the Bermuda Triangle and the similarities in the paranormal phenomena of the area with that of the Bermuda Triangle. Such an infamous reputation for this oceanic area has been not gained contemporarily, but exists for decades and even centuries if some records are to be believed. The area has been in news for several decades for unexplained incidences of vanishing of ships. According to the legends, the waters of the triangle are notorious for making even the strongest vessels disappear, along with the crew aboard. It is said that the conqueror Kublai Khan, the fifth great Khan of the Mongol Empire and the grandson of Genghis Khan, had tried to make inroads into Japan in 1274 and 1281 AD. However, on both attempts, he failed to invade the country after losing his vessels and 40,000 crew members abroad in this triangular area, reportedly due to typhoons. As Kublai Khan and his army abandoned the plan to invade Japan, the Japanese believed that it's God who sent the typhoons to save them from the enemies. Later, strengthening the truth behind the legend, the divers and marine archaeologists have found the remaining Mongol fleets from the region. Another story doing the rounds tells the sighting of a mysterious lady sailing a vessel in the Devil Sea in the early 1800s. It is said the vessel resembled the traditional Japanese equipment for burning incense. However, the destination and identity of the vessel still remain a mystery. In the later century, especially in the 1940s and 1950s, a number of fishing vessels and over 5 military vessels were disappeared in the sea, in an area that lies between Miyake Island and Iwo Jima. As a result, Japan sent a research ship named Kayao Maru No. 5 in 1952 to investigate the previous missing vessels that had been reported to have gone missing in the Dragon's Triangle without any trace. However, the research vessels, with 31 crew members aboard, also met the destiny of previous vessels which went to the Devil Sea. The wreck of the Kayao Maru No. 5 was recovered later, but the whereabouts of the crew members were never heard of again. Following this incident, the Japanese government reportedly declared this area dangerous for marine voyaging and transporting goods. Moreover, as a result of this unprecedented incident, all efforts to unearth the facts behind the mystery were also aborted completely. Well, that is all I have time for today. Do you now have thalassophobia? If you like what you heard or saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. As always, remember to eat well, sleep well, and stay hydrated.